Hello and Namaste. My name is Gautam Behra and today I'll be talking about malleable cast iron and spherodiol graphite cast iron. So let us start with the malleable cast iron. So malleable cast iron is produced from white cast iron. So that means the starting material is the white cast iron. And the important point here to be noted is the white cast iron must be free from any kind of free graphite or any kind of primary graphites in it. And so now the question is if primary graphite or free graphite will be present in the white cast iron, then what will happen? Obviously, uh, on giving heat treatment to the white cast iron to make it malleable cast iron, then the mechanical property will get deteriorate due to mottled structure. And the next point is basically we know that this white cast iron from which we will make malleable cast iron, it is done by giving a suitable annealing heat treatment. And we also know that in case of white cast iron, what are the micro constituents? The main micro constituents in the white cast iron is matrix is perlite and having network of cementite, or we are calling it as massive carbides, right? So on giving a suitable heat treatment to the white cast iron, that is annealing heat treatment, this become this become iron and free carbon, right? So this free carbon we calling it as that is temper carbon, aggregate of temper carbon. So if we look into the microstructure of the malleable cast iron, we'll be getting a matrix of ferrite basically with this aggregate of temper carbon. Temper carbon, it is nothing but it is irregular spherical form of carbon or graphite is called temper carbon. So you understand how the property will enhanced, right? Basically in case of white cast iron we understand it has very high hardness, it has high wear resistance, that is abrasion resistance, but it is basically brittle due to this massive carbides, so due to this interdendritic carbides, that is cementite, right? But on giving suitable heat treatment, that is annealing heat treatment, now it is becoming ferrite and that is temper carbon. It provides, you understand, it provides high ductility. So it provides high ductility and it provides high shock resistance, and the iron, that is malleable cast iron, become good machinability, having high machinability. So this property will be getting enhanced. And if we look into the composition of the malleable cast iron, then it is basically 2.2 to 2.8 percentage of carbon, and 0.8 to 1.5 percent of silicon, 0.25 to 0.6% manganese, and zero point 0.8 less than 0.8% phosphorus, and sulfur content is 0.05 percentage basically. And there are basically two types of malleable cast iron. One is called white heart uh, malleable cast iron, and one is black heart. So the difference is their fracture surface appears white and black, right? And there is another kind of malleable cast iron where the matrix is of perlite, and that is basically alloy cast iron, that is used for basically automotive applications. So next we'll discuss about, that is spherodiol graphite cast iron. So spherodiol graphite cast iron is also called nodular cast iron, or it is also called ductile cast iron, right? So you understand why the name is spherodiol, because the name is spherodiol because due to its spherical nature of the graphite which is present as a microconstituent in it. It is ductile cast iron because the properties is ductile. It is ductile as compared to that of the normal or normal gray cast iron, right? So now how how the cast iron become ductile cast iron or nodular cast iron or spherodiol graphite cast iron? So this is done by converting the flaky form of graphite into spheroids, into spherical form, right? So how it is done? It is done by adding inoculants. Inoculants are chemical substances which promotes nucleation. Basically, it is a kind of heterogeneous nucleation. So uh, before casting the cast iron, inoculants are added into the molten cast iron. So basically we add magnesium and cerium. So when magnesium or cerium, basically magnesium is used. When we add this, so heterogeneous nucleation occurs, and the graphite will precipitate in all direction. That means the growth will occur in all direction. So the graphite will take a shape of spheroid instead of flaky form. So there will be absence of flaky graphites. And we understand the magnesium is a lighter metal, right? So when we add, it may not go into the depth of the molten cast iron. So it is basically added in form of alloy with nickel. So that is where the percentage of magnesium is 10 to 20%, and nickel is a graphitizer, right? It promotes graphite formation. And the next is sometimes there is a chances of white cast iron formation. How to suppress this during this spheroidal graphite cast iron formation? How to suppress white cast iron? So we can suppress this by adding by doing double inoculants, or by adding double inoculants, by adding magnesium and ferrosilicon. Ferrosilicon is a very good graphitizer which promote graphite formation during the solidification process. And the magnesium, already we have discussed, that is an inoculant which helps in the precipitation of graphite in form of spheroids. And if you look into the composition, the composition is basically carbon 3 to 3.6%, and silicon 2 to 2.5, manganese 0.6%, phosphorus it is 0.04, maximum 0.04, and sulfur is 0.04, and iron is balance one. And now the question is, what is the property of the nodular graphite cast iron? Obviously, the property will be getting enhanced. It will be completely different from the gray cast iron. That is basically it is basically having superior property. That is, so why superior property is coming into the spheroidized graphite cast iron? Because of the shape of the, or morphology of the microconstituent itself. Because here the graphite is present in form of nodular form or spherical form instead of flake. But if you look into the our that gray cast iron, the graphite is present in form of flakes, right? So if the graphite will be present in form of flakes, so flakes means having pointed ends. So once something having pointed ends means that is a stress riser, right? Or that is stress concentration site. So fracture will initiate over there. So strength reduces, right? But here it is spherical, since the spherical nature of this graphite gives rise to good ductility also. Now the tensile strength increased to a large extent. It is 400 to 700 MPa, and yield strength is 270 to 390 MPa, and percentage elongation is 10 to 20%. So you understand everything is increasing in this case. And condition for production of spheroidized graphite cast iron is it should have low. The cast iron should contain low sulfur and phosphorus content. Okay, thank you. We'll continue with the next video.